What's up, fellow lords of gaming, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Future Fight. So, jumping right into this one because I want to make it kind of quick. I'm not exactly a Morgan Le Fay. Got who's surprised? I don't think there's that many goddamn. This would be perfect. How many stories did we really get with Morgan Le Fay, right? But as is to want with Korean developers and Marvel Future Fight overall, the females will get their shine, especially when it comes to event-driven uniform. So because you're paying for this uniform, which is odd because, you know, Black Bolt 1750 crystals, you feel like he should be worth it as well, but you're paying $20 or $30 for this uniform, so it really needs to be worth it. And truthfully, it probably is. Now, outside of her just looking like Bae waifu, or aka, in my opinion, clone waifu, yeah. I'll get into that when you look at some of the skills. If you kind of track on what it is, then you track on what it is. Some people might not. So she has a very interesting kit because there's a lot of cancellations inside her skills. I'm going to show you what I mean by that. So one, basically, she summons up these bones, and the bones kind of surround her. She's not immune to any damage when this is happening. So she's dealing bleed damage here, and it just kind of attacks the target, right? So her second ability, she summons skulls. Those skulls come in. She has some iframes right at the beginning. They go in and they stay throughout the majority of skill. Even, like, you know, they kind of disappear about before the last hit. But I can cancel from 2 almost immediately into 1 and still get the damage from those skulls. Now, when it changes is when we get to the third skill, right? So let that animation play out for the skill, and you can kind of see she kind of summons it, and then there's like some big old monster claws, kind of skeleton claws, come out the ground. So I can't immediately cancel this skill. So going into 3, and if you cancel it, it cancels out completely. What you have to do is wait till she comes up in the air for that summons and lands it. So I'll show you what it is right here. So it's 3, the summons happens, and then I can actually cancel it. You have to actually wait for that ball that she summons above her head to legit cancel. So it's literally 3, delay, cancel, and then I can go and I get the damage from that third skill. Now, the important part about this is that you can look at the third skill here, and you can see there's an increased basic damage by 90% for 1 attack. That's a pretty decent amount of damage, right? Or damage boost. Now, her fourth skill inside of the rotation, you can see here, it basically summons sigil on the ground, and then it does some pretty decent hits inside here, right? Now, I want you to pay attention to this because you'll notice here that it's giving you a nice buff, whereas it increased all basic attacks by 40%. Now, you can cancel out this skill as well. There's a timing to canceling out of that skill, so watch inside here. So we basically go into 4, she's going to summon the sigil, and then we can cancel. Like, you can almost cancel immediately as she starts making the summon. You do lose some of the damage on 4, it appears, in my opinion, but I'm not quite exactly sure. So, but you get that. Now, the 5 is a very interesting skill because this is where all of her accumulation is. So pay attention to that. All the accumulation is here. You can see that the true damage accumulation is there, right? So essentially, I do want some of that accumulation from that skill, and it's a really weird rotation to me because you basically have to how's the best way I can say it? You're basically looking at getting the damage. So it wouldn't make sense to basically go 4 to 3 into 5 because I think those actually would the bonuses would cancel each other out anyways, right? So now the 5th skill, I have to wait till she summons this above her head. Once she summons that above her head, I can cancel out the little bone knife. Once she summons that, then I can cancel out of that skill. So it's right there when that actually appears inside here, then you can cancel the skill. So how are we going to play these off, right? So essentially the way I'm looking at this is roll the 4 into the 5, 5 into the 3, and then let the 6 happen. So it'll look something like this, where you're going 4, delay, cancel 5, delay, cancel 3, and then, oh shit, that's that rotation. She's going to be a weird one for this, but let me go back to this and do this again. So we're basically 4 cancel, 5 delay, cancel, 3 cancel, and then into the 6. That's essentially what you're looking at. So let's go back through that one more time because I know I messed up the rotation on that overall, but let's take a look. Okay. So we're going to go 4 delay, cancel, 5 delay, cancel, 3 delay, cancel, and then roll into the 6. That's probably like right now for me, it's the only rotation that I really see inside her kit. Like the 6th skill is here and she's got quite a few hits on it. It's a really weird thing, right? Because I'm going to point this out to you guys, and I have to pull up somebody else to it, but you can see the 6th skill. Something's broken on the skill here, because if you notice, like if I click on these skills, I can pull up the information for what this is, but on her 6th skill, it doesn't show anything at all, right? The 5th skill over here does play out, and it does have some pretty good damage inside of it. Like if you look at it, it plays out, and then it does that blow up at the end right there, right? So like you let it play out, it's there. But the rotation that I am seeing probably is the best one is 4 delay cancel, 5 delay cancel, 3 delay cancel, 6. That's the rotation. Now, where do I get to the point of clone fu over here basically being this, you know, it's weird, right? Look at the I want you to pay attention to some of the skills, right? I really want you to pay attention to the skills. The sigil, you know, from over here looks really cool. The summon above her head looks really cool. The hands grabbing up out the ground, they kind of look cool, especially with the little ball there. Like, it's not a long delay cancel in 3, but you know, it's there. See it 3, about 2 seconds, and then you roll into 6. Okay, so let's talk about this character, okay? Because I want to point this out, right? It's really, really interesting. So I noticed it almost immediately from the way she came into the arena when she first started, and I was like, yo, did y'all just literally copy and paste Scarlet Witch? Like you pretty much like copy and pasted Scarlet Witch. So let's see the preview of the skills. Oh yeah, look at that. She comes in her old uniform, she used to be like come down even more, right? So like let's take a look at 2. This was a really cool looking skill. Scarlet needs a freaking tier 4 like it. But 3, the bubbles are there. I mean, this doesn't make difference because it is the bubbles and stuff like that. 5, like I miss Scarlet Witch, man. I really want them to do something better with her. And then we have a 6. I don't know why, but it just really looks it really looks like they copied her for me. But let's go back to the new Beifu of the game, Morgan Le Fay. So Morgan Le Fay is going to be very interesting because I think that overall she's going to have a lot of utility for players, and that's going to come strictly from just her uniform, right? Now, the universal types increase all basic attacks by 35%, increase all basic damage dealt to boss types by 35%. So it applies to all universal types. So this makes her a really good support character in and of itself because you're getting 35% all basic attack, and you're getting the basic damage to bosses. So if you're using her during World Boss Legend, World Boss Ultimate, that's basically a 70% bonus to those characters, and you don't have to put her in the leadership. You can just have her sitting in support, and that's really great. The activation rate of debuffs over here, this is more like a PvP thing. So I don't really necessarily see the necessity of this, but this is over here. I can't even see really her being utilized inside PvP, mostly because that's just not the makeup of teams. Like everybody's pretty much Thanos, Adam, and Hulk, or maybe some mixture of like Spider-Man in there as well. But that's pretty much the teams that you pretty much predominantly see across the game, right? Then she's gotten a great deal of changes inside her skills. Overall, her leadership is still pretty much the same, so not a whole lot to write home about in terms of her leadership, but you can see it's just basically a decreased debuff duration by 24%. So I don't really necessarily see her in that regard, right? The really cool thing about her was that she was really easy for me to just like pop off on. So now this is going to be a matter of stats for you inside your game, whether you pop off, but I was pleasantly surprised. I don't have any Uru set for this character at all. So I was really pleased that I came in here and I'm looking at the crit rate, and it's just, you know, it's already set up inside there. Like my skill cooldown, I can change this relatively easy because if you look at the details over here and I show the Extita stats, I'm well over by about 11.77% inside there. So easy enough for me not to even fill out her Uru things inside here. for this character, and basically just go to character gear over here and change the option so that way I can get crit rate and just like roll with that. I'm not gonna complain about this at all. Let's hopefully, I don't know why it is that whenever I do a video for this stuff, like normally I'll roll this and it just happens like instantly, just one roll. But for some damn reason, whenever I'm recording, it just doesn't do it. So then you can come look at her details and you can see I'm pretty much kitted out now. I've got max dodge rate, I've got max crit rate, crit damage, and the overages on these are really good. Now, my cards are, you know, what they are, but this is really cool for her first uniform. She's maxed out for a lot of these things. Type enhancement kit, I'm sitting at 5. I've got Power of Angry Hulk on her, and I don't even think necessarily that these are good Urus that I have. Like you can see energy attack HP. That, you know, I could do a lot better than this on her. I don't even know why I have a physical dance. Both of these need to be changed. I need to change those options on those. I'll get around to doing it. I really don't see using this character for more than now. I've watched some videos where she's doing really good damage, and you know, she will act as a supplement damage deal for me, but like I said, she's not necessarily the character that I would play on a routine basis, but that buff is something that I would want in my skill tree, right? So essentially with this character maxed out, I will advance her to tier 4 when I get or tier 3 rather, when I get 2 more universal books. Unfortunately, I don't have them right now for me, so I got to play more World Boss Legend and stuff like that. But I think that she's going to be a great utility character on people's roster, depending on whether you want her to lead your DPS or to be a reserve character that can help out on DPS, and like, you know, your main goes down for some reason, then you can use her. I find that there's going to be utility overall for the character inside here. For that reason, however, is really like one of those things that I'm trying to determine whether or not, hey, should I give her a Transcendent CTP or should I give her an Insight CTP? The way I see and envision using this character, I'll probably end up giving her the CTP of Insight more than anything else. But that's just me, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I will probably end up doing, giving her CTP Insight, because the way I potentially see using her the most is in this team lineup. Like, I am going to start using Black Bolt for a lot of different things, so I really see Black Bolt, Medusa, and her at tier 3 being utilized in a lot of different ways for me. That's just the truth of the matter, and it is what it is. Because Morgan Le Fay, she'd be like, you know, Medusa has lost somewhat of her utility as a character, but there's still some utility there that you can utilize this character for. You can see I don't even have Medusa equipped out. I have her with a CTP of Insight giving me something, so that might be a bad team up actually if I roll that. But we'll see. So that's gonna be my team geared around Black Bolt right now. Like you can see, he's in my 3 tier 4s that I have. I'm waiting for Black Panther to come out to see what we get for that. I don't know. I'm really praying to God, and I'm praying against, you know, to all gods in heaven. to all the gods in heaven. Here goes the deal, right? Is that we've got a couple of things that may happen when Black Panther comes out, and I'll talk about these, right? Is that you can roll down the list and you can go over here to speed, and you can look at Shuri sitting here, and she has had nothing done to her at all, right? Where is she at? Where is Shuri? So Shuri is still sitting over here. She has no tier 4 at all. She's lost that. I do see her becoming the new Black Panther, right? But obviously I don't see them skipping her tier 3 in order to make her Black Panther and giving her tier 4. I think, and I am hoping, and this is probably me hoping beyond hope, right? Is that, and this is kind of explain why I'm saving up materials right now. This is me hoping beyond hope. I don't think that my hope is going to be rewarded, but I'm hoping beyond hope that what they do not do is make Black Panther a female character and then give him tier 4, give Black Panther tier 4 from there. In all likelihood, Shuri should be the Black Panther, and we already have a Shuri character that can just have a Black Panther uniform. What I would love to see happen, however, out of homage and respect to Black Panther, that we get a Black Panther tier 4 in honor of Chadwick Boseman and the release of Black Panther 2. I don't think that will happen, but yeah. So that's what I plan on doing with Morgan Le Fay. That's why I'm holding on to some resources. I am going to be bringing you guys more content for Black Bolt inside some different modes. I showed you that you can basically now use him to complete your dispatch missions if you weren't able to before. And I hope you guys enjoyed the content. Until next time, peace.